Welcome back. You're listening to the Flow Friday Sports Show, and it's time to take a look at some softball, specifically Gawler District's softball. And Sarah McMillan, the new president of the competition, is on the line with me. Sarah, you must be excited ahead of the first slate of games under your presidency this weekend.
Yes, getting excited. They do say that anxiety is exactly the same as excitement. Yeah, try not to feel the anxiety because we're all going to run smoothly and it's going to be a great day.
Oh, I'm sure everything is going to be great, and you've been in the role for a little while now, so as we heard from you last week, you have had some time to prepare for this weekend, but no, I'm sure everything is going to run great, and this is what everyone has been looking forward to, the first weekend of games, so let's get into it. Now, in this competition, the whole comp runs at the one venue each weekend, so that certainly makes things a lot easier for everyone, really. You don't have to travel between lots of venues if you've got, someone playing in the juniors and another playing in the seniors or anything along those lines. And for you as the president, you can just oversee everything all in the one place.
Yes, it makes it pretty easy, and it's great to see all the games out at Carbeethan on Anglevale Road, and then if you see them one week, you go out there the next week and there they are again, rather than trying to chase, where's the away game, where's the home game.
Yeah, it certainly makes it very easy, and there's a consistent slot of times as well, so we'll just quickly run through that. 9 a.m. is the T-Bowl, the juniors, 9:30 the under-14s, 11:30 the under-17s, and then at 2 o'clock there are two diamonds, so at 2 o'clock there's a Div 1 and a Div 2 game, and then the same at 4 o'clock. So again, having that consistent scheduling must make things pretty easy.
Yes, that's correct. It's just another thing that you don't have to think about.
Very good. Well, let's get into previewing this weekend's action. It is round one, and we'll start off with that 9 a.m. T-Bowl slot, and it's the Gawler Giants taking on the Anguston Barossa Kangaroos. That's going to be a very exciting game. Of course, the little ones playing T-Ball instead of softball, just making things a little bit easier for them. But how is this one all shaping up?
Yes, it should be good. They are just kangas. Sorry, just to confirm that they're not the kangaroos, they're the kangas.
My apologies, the kangas.
Yes. We don't count the runs, but I'm sure they all know exactly how many runs they've made.
Very good, yes. They'll be keeping count in their head, and good prep for those juniors as they head towards the under-14s.
Seeing the ball come at them and getting a good hit in and, just having a good team vibe about it.
Very good stuff. Well, that'll be a great way to kick off the day tomorrow. Now let's get to the 9:30 slot with the under-14s. Now, no T's here, and I assume we're keeping scores, and this is the Giants and the Kangas again.
Yes, keeping score, and yes, everybody keeps score in their head for every game. It should be a good game. In the under-14s, you have a number of young ones coming up from playing T-ball, and you also have the more experienced ones that are just on the verge of getting over the line of being 14 and ready to head into under-17s.
And the under-17s is where we're going to head next as well. And once again, Giants taking on the Kangas at the 11:30 slot. Now, is there any noticeable differences in the gameplay between the 14s and the 17s? Do they play any extra innings in the under-17s or anything like that?
No, the under-17s play 75 minutes and the under-14s play 60 minutes.
Okay.
And, so just a little bit of a longer game for them, but they're ready for it.
That's good. All right, well, that is the under-17s, and I'm sure a lot of those under-17s have got their eyes on a spot in the Div 2s and then eventually in the Div 1s over the coming years. There might even be some underages playing in the Div 1s or the Div 2s. Do you know of any underages playing up in the seniors?
Yes, I believe both Giants and Kangas have got their juniors playing up in their Div 2 side or other Div 2 sides, but they're a bit of an older team for both of them that they're all pushing the age of 17, so a lot more skill in those games.
All right, very good. So it should be a good game between, once again, the Giants and the Kangas, not the Kangaroos. They're in the under-17s. Let's get on to the, I don't want to say the main events because that takes away from the juniors a little bit, but to the Div 1s and the Div 2s now, the 2 p.m. time slot. Two games going on at the same time. Let's start with the Div 2s. Giants, once again, taking on the Kangas in Div 2.
Yes, this should be a good game. I'm not really sure on where they both sit. I'm just looking forward to catching the game and seeing how they go.
Well, like we said, I want to say early in the season, but we're not really into the season just yet. We'll be into it this weekend, but yeah, you can't really predict too much just yet. It's exciting to see how everyone's going to go, and it will be good to see who some of the powerhouse teams, the teams to beat will be, and we'll have a great idea of that after this weekend. And then there'll be the rest of the teams who will be certainly circling those games on the calendar against those teams that establish themselves up the top. The other game going on in the 2 p.m. slot, it's the Div 1's 2 Wells taking on the Gawler Blue Jays. Any read on this one just yet?
Well, Blue Jays are the reigning premiers, and 2 Wells are my team, so, well, it should be a really good game. I think we're pretty strong in that one.
Yes, that one's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure. The reigning premiers will be looking to do it again. Has there been much player movement between any of the teams, any ins and outs that might shape the ladder a little bit?
Blue Jays are looking pretty similar, I believe, and 2 Wells have lost a couple, but hoping to gain a couple. Yeah, sort of our number one pitcher has done her knee in the off-season, and yeah, she's looking to recover, ready to come back next year, and we'll get there. We've got our number 2 pitcher, and she's a top gun as well, so she doesn't believe it, but we see it.
She'll be relishing the opportunity to step into the number 1 role. I've got no doubt about that. And who knows, she might even establish herself as the new number 1 by the end of the season. But we always hate to hear when there are injuries and people have to sit out. So hopefully the current number 1 pitcher can heal up soon, and hopefully we see her in action this season. Let's get on to the last 2 games of the round at the 4 p.m. time slot. And we'll start off with the Div 2s, the Blue Jays taking on 2 Wells.
Yes, well, they should be a good game as well, but I'm hoping to see a number of new faces out for both teams this year, which, yeah, really can't tell how they'll go, but it's great to see them anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that something you are expecting to see a lot of new players coming into the league this year?
Yes, yeah, I think everybody's been out there looking to get new players, and I think they've done a great job doing so.
All right, very good. Well, let's get on to our last game of the round, the other game at that 4 p.m. slot. It's the Div 1s, and it is the Kangas taking on the Vikings, who are a new team in the Div 1 comp.
Yes, that's right. So I've sort of had a bit of a look at the team lineup, and looks like there's some, I don't want to say older faces, players that have stopped playing and they look like they're making a comeback. And yeah, who knows how this will go. I think it's the game to watch, though, game to be seen this weekend.
All right, very exciting stuff. Always good when there's a new team coming into the comp, shakes things up a little bit. So we'll certainly be watching the Vikings with a little bit of extra interest, but we'll be watching everyone with interest as we get into the new season. Always exciting when the new season kicks off. Sarah, thank you very much for joining me today and previewing all those games. Enjoy the action this weekend, your first weekend as president. I'm sure you're very, like you said, nervous but excited. So enjoy the action and hopefully everything runs nice and smoothly for you.
Yes, I'm all prepped for it, and yeah, thanks for having me.